Hi there, this is John with Matchmaker. This video is going to give you a brief overview of the capabilities of our stat account. So those teams that have stats accounts with us, what they do is they enter their stats and their scoring online in their account, and then they're able to get various reports, send out reports, send results to the media, etc., so on and so forth. So here I am on our homepage at jpchaos.com, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to log into the sample account here so you can see how things work. So in the upper right hand corner there's this orange login button, so click that, and then you'll come to this screen here. This is where you'll be logging into your account. You'll be getting a set of login credentials, your own, obviously, with a username and password. So like I said, I'm going to log into the sample account here. And you can see when I log in, the very first screen that I see is something called the dashboard screen. Now the sample account obviously has already quite a few events in it that we've been playing around with throughout the preseason here. But you'll see a similar thing when you log into your account. In this purple box will be all of your A squad events. And this box will be all of your B squad events, and then all of your C squad events over here. Those are quick links to the scorebook pages for those various events. You don't have to use those. Excuse me. You don't have to use those links. You can get to them another way as well, and I'll show you that here in a second. So within your account, after your dashboard page, here's where your roster would go. So you have both current, and then you can see this former wrestlers link here. This is for wrestlers who are no longer with the team, whether they are, graduated or they quit the team or whatever. Instead of deleting them from your active roster, you can just move them into the former category, and that way Matchmaker is able to keep career stats from year to year. So let's go to the current wrestlers, and you can see on the sample roster here, you can add in wrestlers using this green add button. You can delete them, although we usually would encourage no deletes at all and just move them into the former category. So let's say, for instance, that maybe Joe Blow here has graduated and is no longer with the team. What I would do is click Edit, and you can see the table changes its look here a little bit. And then I would go over here to this status area and change his status to former instead of A squad, meaning that he's no longer with the team. And what it would do is move him off of the active roster and move him onto the former roster. So that's how you would take care of roster management. And obviously there are a few more details, but that gives you just a quick overview of how things would work. Now, one really nice feature of Matchmaker is you can email your roster very, very quickly to opposing schools or opposing coaches with basically just a click of a button. So what I would do if I was getting ready for a dual meet with a rival school or something like that, I would just go in and make sure that the status is correct for each of my wrestlers, A squad, B squad, or C squad, or inactive if they're hurt or unable to wrestle or whatever. Change their status, change or make sure that their weight class is correct, and then all I would have to do is go up here and type in a valid email address and click Send Roster Now. And what this would do is this would sort out your entire roster, and it would send your roster in 3 different sections, A squad, B squad, and C squad, sorted according to weight, to whomever you had typed in here for this email address. And they get a nice clean email with the names of all your wrestlers, their weight classes, their year in school, so on and so forth. And you don't have to do any extra typing whatsoever. And now this way, if I go to, say, next week I have another dual meet, all I have to do is just make sure that all of the status is correct for each wrestler and the weight and it's literally about a 10-second thing to send your roster to somebody instead of having to fool around with typing in everybody's name and weight class and year in school and things like that every single time you want to send your roster to someone. So that's a real handy feature inside of Matchmaker. Next, we'll look at the account settings page here. And this is where you would change things like your passwords or your mother's maiden name, so on and so forth. Not much is going to be done there, although you can set up your media contacts ahead of time. So right here you can see in this media contact area, I've typed in my own name, but let's say I've got 6 or 7 different media contacts that I have to send dual meet results to or tournament results to. I can list them all in this one box right here, separated with commas, like it says right here. Separate them with commas, and then anytime I want to send a report, I can hit one button and it'll automatically go to all of these contacts that are listed in this box. So that's one real cool thing about Matchmaker, is it makes things a lot easier for you instead of having to just duplicate your efforts all the time. So now here's where the stats accounts really get going here. So I'm inside my scorebook library. Over here on the left you can see I clicked scorebook library. Basically this is the same thing as having all of your paper scorebooks sitting on a shelf in your storeroom. So you pick one of the scorebooks to work in. For instance, let's say I want to work in this current year, 2014-2015. You just choose your year, or you can leave it there. A squad, B squad, or C squad, like you can see here in the middle, we'll just work inside the A squad level right now. And then you would click Update Table. And what it does is it loads all of your events for that particular year and level into the table. So as you can see, the sample team here has had quite a few events. We've been doing demos with people along the way here. But let's say you want to add a new event. Literally all you have to do is click this green button that says Add a New Event. And you can see the table again changes its look here a little bit and gives you some boxes to type in. So I'll type in today's date. It needs to be typed in this format: year first dash month dash day. We'll say it's a dual meet, and we'll just call this practice dual or something like that. The score, obviously we don't know that yet, and the win or loss we don't know either. If you're entering all of your matches at once after the match is over, you can pre-enter the dual meet score and whether it was a win or a loss in this box. And then all I'm going to do is click Save. And what this does is it creates a new empty event. Now you'll notice it looks like it disappeared, but we'll find it down here at the end of the next page, because the events are sorted according to date. So if I look at the next page, here's that dual meet we just created down here at the bottom. And so let's say I want to open it and start adding matches to it. All I have to do is click on the event name. So I click on Practice Dual here. And now you can see this is where we would add matches. You'll see this big black warning message. So for people that have video accounts, they will not do their editing here. This is for people that just have stat accounts with us, which obviously, since you're interested in our stat accounts, this is where you're going to spend the majority of your time. So just like when we add a new event, we would click this green button and add a new match. Excuse me, I have a cold. Click Add New Match. And now we get a window that drops down that shows us the scoring symbols that are supposed to be used in this purple box. Our wrestler, we'll just say he's green, and the opponent will say he's red. Literally all I have to do right now is enter the information. So let's say our match is against, we'll say John Anderson was our wrestler. And they were wrestling at, I don't know, 132 or something. Down here, under the opponent, we'll say this match was against Gus Gustafson from Kokomo. And now all I'm going to do is enter the scoring. Now you'll notice in the middle here where it says choose period, this is how I'm going to change where the scoring symbols go. So in the first period, let's say John Anderson gets a takedown. And you'll notice the score updates automatically here. And maybe that's all that happened in the first period. Well, now in the second period, let's say that Gus Gustafson chooses bottom. I'll just type in bottom here as the scoring symbol. And then the ref blows the whistle and they wrestle, etc. And let's say that Gus gets an escape. All I have to do is separate to get to the next scoring symbol and type in an E1 for escape. And again, you can see the score updated here. And then maybe our guy, John Anderson, got another takedown and then maybe a near fall. And maybe that's the end of the period. Now we would go to period 3 by clicking on this button right here where it says period 3. And now it's John's choice, so he chooses bottom. And the ref blows a whistle. Let's say John gets a reversal, and maybe he gets a fall. I would type in the word fall. And again, you can see all the scoring symbols are up here, so you'll know what to type. And here we can put in the fall time. So since it was third period, let's say the fall time was maybe 4:47. All I need to do now is go down to the bottom of the screen here and click Save Match. Matchmaker will calculate the team points automatically. If you want to override them, let's say there was a team point deduction or something like that, you can type in a value here and click Override Team Points. But if you leave Calculate Team Points automatically lit up here, it'll calculate the correct team score. So now if I click Save Match, you'll get some sort of a confirmation. Again, it's going to tell you, hey, wait a minute. If you're editing video, you don't want to do this, but this is for a stats account, so it's okay to click the OK button. And now you can see we have a new match inside our table here that put John Anderson against Gustafson, and we're good to go. That's how you add matches to dual meets, etc. Now I'm going to add another match in here just so that you can see again how this works, and also this will give us a couple matches to look at in our reports. So I'll click Add Match, and this time let's say it's Joe Blow, and he's wrestling Mark Fredrickson, and again he's from Kokomo. Alright, so let's say this time that Mark gets the first takedown, and maybe that's it for the first period. We go to the second period. Joe gets his choice, and he decides to defer. So you can see I typed the word defer up here. And then Mark chooses bottom, and the ref blows a whistle. Let's say that Joe gets a nice tilt and gets a near fall. You can see I typed in an N2 up here. Again, the score updates automatically. And maybe Mark then gets a reversal. Notice again, I'm putting a space in between each of the scoring symbols. That's all you need. And Matchmaker takes care of the rest. Let's say Mark then scores a fall. All I would do again is type in the word fall as a scoring symbol. Put in the fall time. And let's say this was 3 minutes and 12 seconds. And again, I'll leave Calculate Team Points automatically here. And then I click Save Match. I click OK to confirm. And now we have 2 matches in our dual meet. And you would just keep repeating that until you had all your matches entered. Now later on when you're done and you want to get some reports, you would go to the left side over here and click on Statistics and Reports. Click on the current year. And you can see here, again, you're going to choose what year you want to work in this purple area. Choose the level you want to get reports for, whether it's A squad, B squad, or C squad. And then you have options for dozens of different reports here. One that obviously will be used quite a bit is just a dual meet summary. So down here in the green, let's say we want to get a summary of that dual meet we just entered. I would choose the event, which was called Practice Duel down here. and then I would choose dual meet summary. And Matchmaker will generate this report for us. And you can see I've got an A squad versus practice dual here. I guess I forgot to choose the weight classes for those, but you would have the weight classes here. It prints out the final dual meet score and the result of each match. And now here's the nice thing about putting in your media contacts ahead of time in this account settings page that I talked about. You can pre-fill this box right here with all of your media contacts. So if I click that, all of my media contacts would show up in this box. I can click this button, send report now, and it automatically will send the results of this duel to each of my media contacts, and I won't have to send them all separately. Very powerful. Any report can be sent to anybody you want. Again, all you have to do is type in the email address of the people you want to send it to and separate it with commas. Up here, you could send just a quick greeting at the top of the email if you want, where it says add this text to the beginning of the message. And you can send your reports to anybody you want. So for instance, if you're an assistant coach and your head coach wants to see a report, you could just type in his email address down here and send it to him. So you would repeat that process for each event in your season and get your reports, etc. That's just a quick overview of the Matchmaker Stats account. I hope that helps you make a more informed decision about whether you want to go with us. We certainly think it's very, very helpful and a very well done program. Most coaches that have used it really, really enjoy it. We have a lot of people coming back year after year. So if you're interested, please contact us. My name is John Peterson. You can contact me at john.peterson@jpchaos.com. Thank you.